So it looks like to look at your article, you have to have a Medium account.
I don't know. I sent a link that
don't
I
remember
thought
doing
anybody
that in
should
the
be able to
past.
see.
Now
The
it's
hack
going
to
to-
read these Medium articles is to open it in a private window.
Yes, open it in a private window and it doesn't look for your cookies.
Yeah, it still redirects me to the sign-in page in a private window.
Interesting. I
What it's doing.
have a Medium account, which I don't use, but allowed me to read.
Oh, it's not published yet, right, Timothy?
Correct.
No, it's not published yet.
Ah, that's why you probably need an account.
I thought there was a share button to share a. And I actually thought
Okay.
I had access to the CDL Medium
Let
account.
me see if there's another way, but I think you have to publish it in order to share it with people.
Well, I used the link you gave me. I could read it. I could, and so did Stephen, obviously.
I'm also able to open it.
Have you done it today?
It
Just
could be
in case
saved
you
as a
made a mistake?
PDF and uploaded.
I thought.
Is there an option to save as a PDF?
You just
Print.
print. On
okay,
most browsers,
sure.
you just print. And,
Right.
and then you can even upload that to the CDL channel if you want.
I
Yep.
had a Medium account. I don't know where it went.
Okay. Yeah, you won't. I don't know if you won't see the links probably, but okay. Wow.
Bentley, that's the job of the password manager.
Well, that's what I meant in my password manager.
Ah,
I thought I had a Medium account.
okay.
So like in
Yeah, I'm
in the
uploading it.
past, I've gotten the Timothy, hi, I submitted a draft and I'll debate lab is waiting for you to review it.
Well, I just caved in and got a Medium account years ago. And I got tired of going into private browsers all the time.
Yeah, I did as well. I just don't know what happened to it now. LastPass is not the best password manager.
No.
I keep meaning to switch over to first password or 1Password and just haven't.
Vote for what's it called again?
KeyPass.
I'm using
No.
KeyPass.
Yeah, KeyPass is great, of course. No, another open source server solution. But I'm blanking.
I uploaded the PDF.
Bitwarden.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna have a lot of feedback.
So like the
Okay.
first thing, I just started reading, but like in general, I read that there's an assumption that people already know what the canonical debate is, but like I don't think
that's
that we
true.
have. You don't think that's true?
I think the structure is it's defined at in its own section. The canonical debate is a proposal, blah blah blah. It comes quite late.
I see. Okay.
Maybe we could add a define below here, define further, or something to say, yeah, the definition's coming, don't worry. That's legit. But the definition.
Yeah, the thing
there.
is, it's a publication in the Canonical Debate Lab publications. So kind of when I say at the Canonical Debate Lab, it implies that there's this thing. I figure if people don't know what it is, they'll.
Is there any article that says what the Canonical Debate Lab is?
Well, there's a
There
white
are.
paper.
I mean, there's no one article. Like the white paper is the closest thing, and I linked to the white paper at some point. I also link to our website, not here when I say at the Canonical Debate Lab, but it's when I'm talking about examples of versions of debate platforms.
We'll turn that first reference to Canonical Debate Lab into a hyperlink.
Right, where it says
Actually, it should be an internal hyperlink that leads to the section where it's defined in this article, which
Can you
then
do
has the
that in
hyperlink
the-
to the.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah, sure. I'm sure
Yeah.
hashtags exist.
Yeah, but I don't know how they work on Medium.
And that's a very
Medium
good
is so
question.
limited. Yeah, but anyways, like that's my, not specifically for this article, but in general, we don't have this point to link to, like what it is, right? But like
I always link to the white paper or to our homepage or either, and I do that
Yeah,
in here.
I think the homepage should answer that question. If it doesn't, we need to change the homepage.
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
I think it
I
does.
mean, we do need to change the homepage, that's for sure.
Yeah. This work on the site is another story and quite important. I agree totally.
Yeah.
I have a lot of.
I mean, I could go ahead.
I have a lot of specific nits. I wonder if I should just go through them, or if you want us to go through section by section as a group. But they're nits.
You're allowed to pick nits while other people are reading. Yeah.
Okay. When you mentioned Bateson's schismogenesis, that's in Wide and Divide.
Mm-hmm.
Creation of philosophical divide. It's, as he defined it, it's more the emergent and self-amplification. Now here it's true that hybrid warfare is amplifying the emergent process of schismogenesis. But the creation doesn't feel right. I see. According to the original definition.
Okay. Yeah, and it could be a natural process. It doesn't have to be
exactly.
Something intentionally stimulated. If I say the amplification of a physical and behavioral divide.
Yeah, but it's not schismogenesis. The hybrid warfare is an amplification of the process of schismogenesis.
Right. Schismogenesis is the creation of a philosophical and behavioral, because it's the genesis part, right?
It's the self-creation.
But what's confusing?
No, it's the self-creation, which is distinct. Because creation implies an agent, and the whole point of schismogenesis is it's emergent. It's an autonomous feedback loop. That's a detail, but I said there would be nits.
I get it. Should I just say the self-creation, or?
Yeah, self-creation would totally.
And then I have to change a little bit. This is achieved by, what is achieved is the amplification is achieved by making each difference explicit. Well, it's part of the
amplification, or even sometimes not kickstarting. What's the right word? But provoking schismogenesis. But
okay. I put it as a to-do to.
The term rule by rules, I find exceedingly unclear. I think I see what you're trying to say in this paragraph, but I find the title to be.
The title was a little flippant. I just. I mean, it's you establish moral codes that then individuals can follow on their own without having to give direct commands. That's what it is. But
okay. So I saw three themes in there, or four maybe even. There's the fact that the attacker is unseen, which I thought was interesting. But then the attacker is there to help signaling, as in the case of, which is lower to the end. So maybe you have to explain how the unseen attacker is signaling. And as you say, the attacker is I don't know if they're building upon or building a common moral code. Are they creating it or writing in the back of it? I'm unclear.
I get it. Yeah, this is conflating several things into one, because I was trying to reduce several concepts into one in order to make the article shorter. What's being conflated here or mixed together is that it doesn't matter if there's an attacker. The thing is happening. It's happening either on its own or through attackers, or it's happening on its own and attackers are exploiting it, which is probably what's really happening, which is this process of schismogenesis and divides being fertile ground for
So it's
causing
creation of,
action by appealing to bias,
it's
right? Yeah.
creation of a self-sustaining culture. Is that what you'd say? Because the other reason I'm hammering on this one is that when you say in the next section, by the way, it's very well structured. I like it, how this is what hybrid warfare is, this is what the canonical debate is, and this is how the canonical debate can help undermine each of these processes of hybrid warfare.
Right.
So that's great.
Right.
That's really great. But in the rule one, when you explain how canonical debate, it's mostly about forcing the signals to be more consistent with commonly held beliefs. Am I right?
Forcing the signals to be. Oh, wait. What the canonical
actions,
debate does?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I was saying is, yeah, I can see how that's not clear either. I mean, basically, the idea is, you can, once you have these divided groups with kind of confirmation bias and a sense of urgency and a sense of kind of divided grounds, right?
Yep.
You have these people who are like very riled up about the subject, and you can force things to happen simply by creating outrage that appeals to their predisposed biases, and that includes things like, you know, mischaracterizing news stories, right? You know, like Trump's Mar-a-Lago being raided by the FBI, right? All that Trump needs to do is signal, I've been raided. Look at this. It's the FBI and the deep state trying to, you know, attack me. I'm being attacked by the FBI, and you get the defund the FBI and all that, right? So the point is, like, a signal is sent by Trump that is totally bereft of fact and mischaracterizing an event. And the way the canonical debate deals with that is grounds any sort of thing that's going on in, oh, you know, why did the FBI raid? And then you get people saying, well, raid, did the FBI raid? No, it's not a raid. It was a search warrant.
No, but I think I'm understanding what you're trying to say, and let me try to express it differently. What you're saying is the hybrid warfare is creating a culturally embedded partial point of view, which is used to interpret social action. And what the canonical debate may help to do is to help people analyze new proposed social actions in view of a broader perspective than just this partial perspective that's being maintained. And it's possible for Trump to propose a narrative because he's created this subculture where this is the only partial point of view that will be used to analyze it. And furthermore, this can lead to actions by the people in the narrative. But that's a side point up to a point. But what I'm saying is the hybrid warfare is creating these subcultures that have this partial analysis, systematic partial analysis of anything proposed. And that becomes self-maintaining, and whether it's something coming from the attackers or endogenous to society, it will be analyzed within this narrow viewpoint. And canonical debate can ask about for basically global consistency of any proposed action.
Not only that, I think you actually hit on something that I missed that is pretty key. What you said is, you know, rather than Trump proposing, he's able to propose a narrative because people have these narrow viewpoints, right? Yep. One of the quotes in here is specifically that, here, I'll just read the quote. Whenever there are unexpected high profile events, that is the Trump Mar-a-Lago being quote unquote raided by the FBI, it is possible to note a time lag between the timing of the event itself and the response at network peripheries. It is as if most users will wait for the narrative to arrive before they can go on reproducing it. That is, oh crap, Trump's Mar-a-Lago just got raided. What do we think of that? I don't know. Let's wait to see what Trump says about it, right? That is the kind of command and control structure where somebody is able to direct
But
a
that's
group,
fascinating
right?
because
But
it's almost in contrast to the self-established narrow viewpoint I was talking about. It seems like there's two parallel and very, very different processes. One where the viewpoint becomes autonomous and, for example, yields actions, like people will do on their own disruptive anti-government actions because they've internalized the narrative. And then the
Right.
narrative is autonomous. And then it's both autonomous and
it's both.
self-sustaining. And I think they need to be both called on and distinguished. But
Again, like I said, in this section, I really kind of glossed over multiple concepts, trying to kind of squeeze them into one for brevity. But that's exactly right, which is it's both, unseen attackers can
or seen
just kind of
attackers
keep things
and that's the other
boiling,
thing. You insist
right?
on unseen attackers, but then you have Trump, which is very much
Right.
a visible rallying
Right.
point. So I think the distinctions need to be made because it's confusing otherwise.
Yeah, I agree with that. But that's going to make it even longer.
Or just don't make
Um,
the distinction between seen and unseen. Is that important to the topic? It's a tactic, regardless.
I think it's important, but I mean,
it's important, but maybe not to the article.
Is it right? Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
important in this level of specificity?
That is a good point.
Level of brevity.
Yeah, maybe it's not important. And it's fascinating. It's very, very worth getting into, but it's, I think it distracts from the point of the article, right?
Medium has footnotes, right?
I don't know how to use them, but I just put.
Another thing is that each one of these could probably be expanded into a separate article. So just thinking of it as a summary.
Well, but so this is like the hybrid warfare article. There's a whole paper that I want to break down, into dozens of articles, really, because what they do is they talk about lots of different types of epistemic attacks and proposed solutions and that sort of thing, and they break these things down. And so I would like to take it in smaller chunks because, this has to gloss over, but I would love to go into detail about how for this one thing, for example, probably the next one I'll write is on evidence collages, which is a practice that people have been doing where they cherry pick photos of evidence that proves a point and they put it all into one photo and then they spread it around so people start buying into that one group of evidence because there's no accumulation of counter evidence. That's just one thing, and I can go into how the canonical debate helps there, right? There's lots of angles I want to take on this, so yeah. But hybrid warfare is a collection of these tests, so I'm just trying to take it at a higher level. So is it better what do you think, Marc-Antoine? Is it better to make the distinctions about how both unseen attackers and thought leaders of a group work together?
I think trying to write the distinction between the autonomy side, like the self-sustaining side of the viewpoint, because I think that's very important, especially since that's especially what your canonical debate answering point was about. It's
right.
like, and then you can go into seen or unseen attackers, and it's not, or attackers, and whether you go into the seen or unseen can further direct the culture. Like this culture is not only self-sustaining, but it's also part of that culture is reacting to prompts that fit with the culture. And I think that, again, seeing those prompts in a broader context, yada, 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 but making the vulnerability of these groups to be puppeted is a distinct point about self-sustaining plus vulnerable to prompts. And then in the answer, in either case, it's vulnerable because it's such a narrow viewpoint, and embedding it in a broader perspective should protect.
Right. Yeah.
It's, I think, and then whether the fact that the puppeteers are seen or unseen, hello Pearson, becomes may or may not be relevant. You can make it seen or unseen, you know, it's.
Yeah, it's the attacker's part that makes it warfare, right? That's the only reason it's kind of relevant.
But again, the attackers can the fact that they can either pose as command through sub-puppet accounts, embedded spies, or visible figureheads. You know, it don't matter.
Okay.
But they're all cases of maintaining the autonomous narrative and guiding the autonomous narrative. The narrative is autonomous but guided, which is
it's guided. But it also talks to the and there's two different points, which is the waiting to be guided. Yeah, waiting to see how your authorities frame this, because you're not sure. Oh, that sounds bad. Wait, let's see how they spin it.
Sometimes waiting, sometimes not. Like the point is
right, exactly.
And both are independent phenomena, and it's important to say that they're both part of the narrative of the warfare.
The point about the waiting is what's interesting is, you know, it's like instead of kind of sitting and waiting to see how it's spun, you go straight to the canonical debate and you already start seeing the comments about, oh no, it was an actual search warrant that went through the full process, and oh, you know, he was warned months ago and stuff, and then when he tries to spin, it's gonna fall flat, right?
Well, it will also become a vector for the spin. Let's not kid ourselves.
For users of the the canonical debate, that spin wouldn't work, right? Because
why not? The lies will be there. The lies will be there. They'll find something comforting the lies, and the confirmation bias will allow them to stop there. Now, of course, it'll be easier to have access to everything else. So
right. Sure that the debate will go on there, but you know, I think my point is that much of that spin works at the level of ignorance. Yeah. Right. Because he said this was an attack. Okay, I'll take it. It's like I put in the comment about the Trump voter, right? The internet lies, so whatever Trump says is okay with me, right? And so you don't look any further, right?
Yeah. What else is there? In the doubt section, the second doubt section, I've started putting notes in the document as well. I see that Michael's
the notes will help, and I'm starting to see asterisks and stuff.
So one is just a typo, forget that. Attempts to hide information, but also to decontextualize, like, you know, these clips that drop the full sentence, and this is really something that I expect to help a lot with. I would make that explicit. Discussing the veracity of claims. Sorry, this is still in the context of me reading Enigma of Reason, just done yesterday. One point they make is that people have this basis of trust but verify to other people's claims if they're in a community that they trust to have roughly the same goals. And I think the issue of we think a lot about truth alignment between us, but we think less of goal alignment between us. You won't bother to do truth alignment with somebody who's out to kill you or you know, how to in a win-lose conflict with you. And that is of course, it's truth about identifying goals and all that kind of stuff is part of it. But I would be explicit that it's not just claims, it's not just the truth finding, it's also the goal alignment process. Now, maybe that's not how you see canonical debate. I'm saying it's an important dimension. Is that the job of the canonical debate? I'm asking you, but I'm pointing out, I think it needs to be both.
Well, okay, I think that's somewhat in contention.
Fair.
So
fair,
I wouldn't put it in here because, like, I haven't designed any mechanisms to make that happen. I don't know of any designs beyond, you know, what you're trying to do, which is what we've discussed as kind of being outside the scope of the canonical debate part. I don't disagree.
That was a question. That was a question.
Yeah. I think it's important, but I don't think it's built into what I propose for the canonical debate.
Right.
Nothing.
The tribes section, you basically say that inserting diverse voice. I would say inserting access to diverse voice. It's not that we're forcing in the diverse voice.
Kind of. How do you not see the diverse voices?
Oops, where did it go?
Like for example, we're not allowing you to have your canonical debate, and it only shows your evidence collage of arguments, right? Which means we're forcing into your group ideas that are from outside.
Yeah, but you're how should I put it? Inserting diverse voice can sound a bit forced to me, but it may just be my reading, not important. In the divides one, I think it's an answer because you're deconnecting claims from authors, which you said earlier, but I would restate it here because this is what works on the divide. And that's it. Those were my nits. Overall, so the big structure.
Mention that once again, claims are disconnected from authors.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Many of them were nits, as I said. Okay, those were my comments.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the structure, and so it looks like you have each of the kind of hybrid warfare types at the top, and then at the bottom they're all collected together as the canonical debate responses to those.
Right.
Did you consider and rule out having our response underneath each one? I mean, it could go either way. When I'm reading, that's the way I kind of prefer it. But
yeah, normally I would do that. This is a little different because it's kind of like I'm trying to explain what hybrid warfare is and create the picture of how it goes.
And it's a global picture. I tend to agree.
Yeah. Like in other articles that I'll do in the future, I would probably take it more that approach of this is a tactic. Here's how we defend against it.
Yeah, it's not a strong suggestion. So if you've considered it, that's cool. If we could figure out how to do internal links, if people wanted to see
that would be useful. Yes. I'll see if I can, but I don't think you can. I mean, maybe when it's published, I might be able to publish and then look at the internal document structure and force in a link afterwards. Maybe I can just inspect and see what it does. Let me see. It does an H3.
The article on how to do internal links in Medium is one that requires an
account.
An account. Well, I mean, it
Send the
requires you
link
a
and-
paid account, which
yeah.
kind of makes sense,
Uh,
but there's one out there.
okay.
I probably should. I mean, I just don't read Medium articles often enough to pay.
Yeah, I know. I don't either. Every once in a while, one hits me that's interesting, and I'll read it. But the one thing I do like about it is the ability to respond, and your response becomes kind of a like a publication on your
Reinventing the blogs.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
Well, it's kind of it's interesting because it's reinventing, but it's
Yeah, it's like-
connecting closer.
Blogging with a pingback really is kind of what it is.
sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Blogs
yeah.
had pingbacks, blogs had comments, blogs had permalinks, blogs had a lot of great stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is a lot.
Even backlinks sometimes
Mhm.
with pingbacks. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
a great technology.
Yeah. Should I give you guys a few more minutes to read?
I don't think I'll have any other.
Okay. All right. Let me know if you have any other comments. I'm gonna try to absorb Marc Antoine's comments and the other comments that people have made, and send a last time before I publish. I don't have a specific date to publish. It's more like I need to get some of this thing off my plate. Just get it done. Move on to the next thing.
I don't know. I still have the feeling that it's much easier to understand it if you know the canonical debate already. Like I'm feeling that for a newcomer, it's might be hard to understand.
I mean, so maybe a one sentence after it or something.
So maybe
or,
the thing
Michael
to do.
suggested.
I'm not sure because. Go ahead.
You could move the canonical debate definition, just that section, not everything, not the versus, but the canonical debate definition at the top. Before you
Okay,
define
I'll see if it
hybrid warfare.
fits.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I'll
I'm not sure.
I'll give it a try.
Or
Yeah.
just like very early, but in general, I mean, like we all have problems with explanation of what this thing is we're doing, right? So
Mhm.
and short descriptions really don't cut it.
What do you think of that para, of that small subsection, the way it's defined? I think it's
That's a good discussion.
I think it's good. I think it's great. I think
Yeah.
it's great because I know what it is. I'm not sure how people who don't know what it is like it or like understand it.
I mean, the thing about like short sentences that describe something, it'll never do a good job of describing it, but it just needs to give their brain a hook of enough to know to be able to attach things to it. So,
Exactly.
a collection of all the reasons for and against contentious
Yeah.
issues. Something
Exactly.
as short as that.
It doesn't have
Yeah,
to be complete or correct. It just have to fill the purpose to understand this article.
Yeah,
Right,
that
right,
was
right
exactly what
hooks,
I
that's
tried to
what you
do.
said.
Is
Mm.
yeah, avoid explaining the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next article could be explaining the whole thing, but in short, and have that as the
I don't think you
main
can.
text on the
That's
website.
what I've seen every time when I try to explain what we're doing is it's just way too complex. It's kind of like putting a software architecture, describing it in one diagram, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. It's better to choose your facet, your context, and
Well, maybe we need to
Yeah.
toss around some slogans and see if we can get a one sentence context, not a description.
for me, it's always the Wikipedia for debates. That's always the one thing that I think is easiest for people to kind of grab onto. It brings up a lot of questions, right?
Yeah.
Isn't there already a Wikipedia? Or Wikipedia, isn't so good at debates. And it's like, well, yeah, that's why you need one for debates, right?
Yeah.
Debates or arguments?
Right. Well,
I think arguments
Yeah, the problem is
or like
I meant
things people don't agree with. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, there's two meanings to argument. One is the process of argumentation, and the other one is an argument in response to a claim. And I meant the latter. And people will usually get the former, so that's wrong.
I don't know
No,
that either of
debates-
those descriptions
Yeah.
are what the average person thinks.
Debates aren't arguments to me. Debates are claims. Debates are claims. That is my definition for debate when I use it, like in the white paper and other places. It is the claim for which you are currently deciding agreement.
Well, this is certainly does not align with common usage.
No, I understand that, right? And when I say the Wikipedia for debates, I mean it in both sense, but I mean it mainly in common usage, because I'm trying to appeal to what people understand, right? So it's like,
and
it's the movie
the
pitch.
toxicity of debates, and I'm like, do we want to of certain formats of debates? And I'm afraid that's what people will think about.
I mean, it depends on the person, which is why, again, your one-liner has to be, considering your audience.
Okay. Yeah,
Another approach I take is sort of, it is a tool to deduplicate and organize our information, or it is a tool to
Wikipedia does do
accumulate.
that.
Yeah.
Wikipedia for contentious issues, or for
things we don't agree on,
for
in
open
general.
questions.
Yeah.
What?
For things we don't agree on yet. Yeah. Because like Wikipedia right now only contains things people seem to agree on. Like it's really like the denominator.
I think if it might be worthwhile to expand that to 2 sentences or something, so that we can say it's, because if you just kind of say a Wikipedia of, it sounds like it's just the listing of the contentious issue, or the things we disagree on, when really what the main point is that we're using all the pros and cons, or it's all the reasons for and against, however you want to phrase that.
Justifications and Mercer's, but that doesn't sound good. But I do like things we don't agree on. Or wiki, but it's not. But you're right. It's not just a disagree Wikipedia of things we don't agree on.
It's not just a reference. Yeah.
It's not just a reference. Exactly. It's and that way it's not a Wikipedia. It's
well, technically Wikipedia isn't just a reference either. It's for people to contribute their knowledge, but it's not, for everybody to contribute necessarily.
It used to be, yeah.
It's just, it just doesn't include why, and that's why often I've said for this, it's the Wikipedia of why, which Wikipedia, I mean, I guess some of it is why, like it says why this person did it, but
but I do like something there.
Maybe we should write out like 5 or 6 of these and show them to our people we know and get their response back.
The Wikipedia facilitating debates.
That's an option. Yep.
Wikipedia for the add something.
We could make that homework for next time. Come up with a 1 to 2 sentence.
Speaking of homework, I forgot. Did you get what you wanted from my document, Bentley? Do you need me to do something else? Are you waiting? Is there a next action for me?
No, I don't think so. If everyone else either abstains or agrees with the organization of the different types of systems that Marc-Antoine is mostly spearheaded, then we can just start with that. And I guess the next step would be for everyone to go in and try and use that system, classify probably their own projects and maybe a couple other popular ones like Kialo or something like that. just to see how it feels, and to give examples for anyone we may hire to do that. Would probably be the next step. And then I'm also wondering, maybe I should go ahead. So I'm being really finicky of adding editors to this, because if I add an editor to this base, then that's one of my editors for my whole account. It's not 5 editors per base, it's 5 editors per account. So I'm thinking I'm thinking I just need to make a free account using the CDL, using a different password and just for CDL, and we could choose, the 5 of us that are going to be in there. Tim, I don't remember if we have emails at canonicaldebatelab.com for either of us. Or
We used to, and I don't know.
It's not a big deal. I don't need that, because I could just use, CDL at reasonpedia.com or something. So I don't need it, but it'd be nice. So yeah, what I'll probably do is I'll put this in its own account, and then we could just use that for CDL stuff. Does anyone want to volunteer to have access to do updates? Be one of those 5 people. So yeah, Marc-Antoine, Felix.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until I've finished free myself up from the article at least.
Yeah, happy to help.
Okay. I'll do that and add you to the start, and then so it'd be nice if people would try and you don't even have to do it in the system if you just want to take a look at the categories and post in the Slack channel, how you would categorize your project. And
that's a very good exercise anyway.
Yeah.
So we have some Wikipedia names suggestions in the chat from Michael and I. I like Wikipedia. I'm happy with my last one, Wikipedia to explore disagreement. The explore means we're digging into why and how to resolve, and it's not a Wikipedia for, it's a Wikipedia to. There's an activity implicit, and I think that's important. And then that way, I like also Michael had to facilitate debates. For me, facilitate is a loaded term, so I'm not keen on it, but something like that I'd be fine with. The Wikipedia discourse, I think, is a bit too general, and it doesn't evoke the unresolved issue aspect. I don't think
I think it
issue is
also
a good term, but it
implies a kind of a conversational. It implies conversational to me, which is more of a back and forth, and that's explicitly.
It doesn't to me. For me, discourse can be a monologue.
And it depends on the audience, right? For some people, it's only reading, and for some people, it's like actively contributing.
Discourse is reading?
No, I thought like you were still.
Oh, the website.
Website or like Wikipedia. Wait, did I miss something because my headphones didn't work the last minute? Maybe. Okay. You talked about the category labeling all the different tools, or you were still at the Wikipedia definition?
We had jumped back to the slogan for Canonical Debate Lab.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And there I wanted to say, like, not everybody wants to contribute. So it's not like a discourse in itself, but for some people, like for Wikipedia, it's just consuming, right? You just want to browse and navigate all the arguments. And for some people, it's like actively participating.
I didn't like the word explore.
Fair.
Navigate.
No, navigate is passive.
Yeah, my problem with explore is that exploring seems kind of casual, or it seems sort of like
Oh, interesting.
meandering, or I'm going to, yeah, I'm not sure the way I would say it,
Okay,
but
fair. I see what
Yeah,
you're
I don't.
saying.
Yeah, I agree with that. Although I don't know if giving it a casual feel is that because it's making it
well,
less formal?
but what it detracts from is the canonicality nature of like, this is the compendium of everything, right? This is where everything should be. Whereas it's like, okay, I'm going to go on an excursion to explore something about this debate. It doesn't communicate the fact that it's all there.
Maybe we
Like
should
you can't
explore
escape
the
all
limits.
point of view. Yeah, I know. Something like that.
It's funny when I think of exploration, I think of explorators, and that wasn't casual activity. But,
No, yeah,
that's true,
casual
but
isn't the right word, sort of, but
I
yeah.
see what you're saying. But what I did like about exploring, I'm not defending the term, but the idea behind it was you're trying to dig deeper into what this disagreement is about.
Right, expanding the boundaries or expanding our knowledge incrementally with it. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I almost feel like documenting.
You'd like to resolve at some point. And I'm not saying, and I hesitate to use the word resolve because that's sometimes it goes, sometimes not.
Taking sides, yeah.
Yeah. But a Wikipedia to fully lay down, fully go through.
Exhaust is a clear word, but I think that confuses people.
Yes, it does. And that's why I did like explore, because or to research. How about research?
Browse.
Yeah, no, too passive. Browse, you're not contributing. Research, I think, is interesting actually, because you're researching and you're contributing research.
And it gives an
I think we
idea
have
of
different audiences still.
What is the scientific process doing?
Research.
Is there a word for that?
Research.
I mean, research is part of it, but it's like it's this ongoing process of expanding our knowledge and verifying the knowledge as we go and that sort of thing. If there's a word for that, maybe that is the the word we want.
In my opinion, research covers it. Like research includes discussions about stuff.
Yeah,
for me, research is the word to the concept.
Exactly the word for the scientific process. People sometimes speak of scientific exploration, by the way, but but I think research is a better word.
But like Wikipedia for research would turn many people off, I think.
Okay, interesting. So maybe, well, the reality, unfortunately, the sad fact is that the scientific process turns a lot of people off, for that matter.
Yeah, I think maybe we should kind of collect these in a document somewhere, and
so fine.
Then we can later on kind of browse over them. And
well,
I guess I could make a doc.
A tool for thinking together. This is what I say.
That's not used anywhere else right now.
Okay, folks, we're close to the end. Oh, by the way, Felix, one thing you missed is Bentley asked who's interested in helping.
I am.
You are?
Yeah. Do we have any other homework other than what I suggested then?
No, I think
no,
not.
I guess not. Okay, so I'll post that in the channel for people to read.
In terms of the YouTube videos and posting them, I went to try and look and see what that entails, but I didn't have access to that. Is that something anyone can do, or do we need to?
I'm doing it right now I'm doing it right now for the last session, because like the automatic upload is not working when Zoom recorded multiple videos. That means like I have to download it from Zoom and then upload it into YouTube, and that's only something I have access to.
Okay.
But like what I can do next time, if I don't have the time, just post a link to the Zoom recording so someone else can do it.
Oh. Although I think does Michael have access to the
to the YouTube channel.
YouTube channel?
Yep. Just give me your Gmail address, Michael.
Okay, do you want it just in Slack or here?
Just
or...
send it to me in Slack, please.
Okay, will do. Thanks.
Okay, folks.
Interesting conversation.
Thank you. Thank you all.
All right, thanks
Thank you.
everybody. I'll
you.
send the final draft when it's done.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, and good work, by the way. I mean, I had, as I said, mostly nits except the rules section. I think it's very good to go.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to think. That's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna think through how to do it better.
Okay.
All right.
Ciao, ciao.
See ya.
Bye.